Hi, YouTube. So I just got home and I just had something done to my face. It's called dermatude. It's like microneedling, only there's no really numbing cream required. You don't really bleed. The needles are like miniature, like very, very tiny, and they just on the surface make little tiny puncture wounds, but not so deep that you bleed or not so deep that you need your face to be numbed with cream first. So I have no makeup on. All I have is the crappy product she put on my face. That's my really, I have two complaints. Okay, it wasn't painful necessarily. It might have been a little uncomfortable here on this bone and a little bit around this area of my eye. But other than that, I would say it wasn't uncomfortable or painful, just only in these little areas right here. My complaint is this: she did not use high quality products on my face. I will only put like high quality medical grade products on my face at home because I don't believe in crappy low end products with chemicals and stuff. I don't use anything like that. And I also get nervous when people put things on my face and they're not telling me what they're doing. It makes me very, very uncomfortable. So as she was doing the treatment, I had to keep asking her, okay, what's this? What's that? What's this? It's like she would never tell me, and she was all very secretive about it. Like I asked to see the product she was using for the serum when she was doing the dermatude needling. And she just kind of went like that, this little tiny vial thingy, and I couldn't even like read it or anything. She just said green tea or something like that and whatever. It's like, and then the thing that pissed me off the most is she kept coughing the whole time. And I'm like, oh, great. I'm thinking to myself, now I'm going to get sick, because she even had the nerve to tell me that she had a cold. And I'm thinking, why is this woman even working if she's sick and coughing on me? And then she's making little tiny holes in my face and around my eye area and telling me to keep my eyes open while she does it. Now, it didn't hurt. And it doesn't bother me to have my eye open when she was doing the needling. But the problem is she kept coughing, and that really scares me, because that's exactly how you get colds and flus, is through your eyes and your mucous membranes. That's why people wear masks and stuff. She did have a mask on, but that doesn't stop. A lot of viruses can still go through the mask, especially when you're in close contact like that with someone, when they're that close to you. And the room had no ventilation. And that was the other thing that was kind of scary. It was like this place, it was like hidden in a corner somewhere in these their little tiny cuticles, built little tiny rooms down these long corridors. And it reminded me exactly of how a lot of the brothels look in the Netherlands, where you walk into this building and there's like a long hallway and you have little tiny rooms where the girls work. It reminded me exactly of that. Right when I walked in there, I'm like, oh my God, this looks just like a brothel in the Netherlands, I'm thinking, where girls rent these little tiny rooms to work out of. So the other thing that was very rude of her, besides the coughing, which, as if that's not bad enough, she actually made me take my top off right in front of her. That was so rude. I mean, are you kidding me? She demanded that I take my top off in front of her. I turned my back to her when I did take my top off, but she kept saying, you got to take your top off. Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm like, my top, everything. She says, take your whole top off. And she was like staring at me. I'm like, this is very unprofessional. This is rude, I'm thinking. I mean, I should have probably just left. But I already blew my whole day just to go there and get this treatment done. And this is like the only place I could find in my area that did the dermatude treatments. You can find microneedling like everywhere, but dermatude, not so much, especially if you don't live in a huge city like LA or New York or somewhere like that. So this is like the only place I could go to within 10 miles of my house. If I wanted to drive 50, maybe 40 or 50 miles, yeah, I could find other places, but I just figured it was the closest place to my house. And I really wanted to get this treatment done because they advertise it as like a facelift. So it's supposed to tighten your skin and everything, kind of like a microneedling, only there's no pain involved. There's no numbing cream, which I hate. I hate putting numbing cream on my face. I don't like it. I don't like having a numb face. So I figured I would just try it. So Now, knowing everything, if I ever walk into a situation like that again, I would just walk out. Now, the other problem is the people that do the dermatude, the small needles, they don't need to be board certified or anything. So that's why she was so unprofessional, because there's no one to go to, no one to complain to. Like I said, when I was done with the treatment, I go, okay, so I pay you right here? And she's like, yeah. So it's like there's no receptionist to go to, no one to talk to, nothing. And it was very unprofessional, the whole thing. I would never go back to her again. If I ever did this again, I would just go to a board certified dermatologist and get my facial there. And because they can't work when they're sick. I would be highly doubtful that they would ever do something like that, because that's unprofessional. You don't sit there and cough every 5 seconds on somebody's face when you're doing this. It made me very nervous, very tense. And the whole time she kept saying, relax, relax, relax. You're too tense. You're too tense. But she's coughing and she's not telling me anything what she's putting on my face. And she's using all these low grade chemical preservative filled creams and shit. And it's not helping my skin. Okay. Like, I feel like I got ripped off in some way. It was $130. And for that amount, you would think they would at least use high-end products, but she was not using high-end products. I even made her show me when she was all done and she put the sunscreen. They're supposed to do that, even though usually if I get a deep microneedling, I refuse sunscreen because I don't want those chemicals to get deep into my skin. And normally I do microneedling late at night and I just say, no sunscreen, I'm going to bed now. After when I get home, I'm not going to be outside, and they'll agree, they'll be okay. But technically, by law, they're supposed to put sunscreen on you, which is bullshit, because why would you want all those chemicals going deep into your skin? But the dermatude is different. It doesn't go that deep. So I just figured, whatever, she's putting sunscreen on. It's still daytime. I'm not going to say nothing. But then I did have her show me it. And it was a really cheap store brand of like SPF 30, like the cheapest stuff you can get. Like unbelievable. Like they can't even, like for that amount of money I spent, she could have at least used a high-end sunscreen, but without chemicals. But nope, it was crazy, the crazy cheap kind you get at the store. So yeah, I would not ever go to an unprofessional place again. It's not worth it. I think all the dermatude did was irritate my skin. It looked a little red when she was done and a little swollen and a little irritated, and that's about it. She didn't use a cooling mask, and I'm very disappointed. And yeah, I feel like I just threw away $130 today, and I probably could have did something better with my time today. I'm going to be getting braces here in a few weeks, so I'll do an update on when I get those on my braces video. If you're interested in braces, I'm pretty sure I'm getting the Damon braces because they're the ones with the what do you call it? The highest technology, pretty much, and the most like recent technology, and they're supposed to widen your smile without using expanders. So I'll do a video when I get those on. But yeah, take care.